Right, you are live, and we are here in Amazon Development Center. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. We're here. We're looking at Bangalore. We're looking at India, one of the we're looking at the Silicon Valley of India. But you can see like how development is very concentrated over here. Development is very concentrated in these tech parks. You can only kind of see development happening in fewer areas, but still you can also see that because this is all connected, you can have the best infrastructure. You can have the best infrastructure in terms of the roads, in terms of the sewage system, in terms of the buildings, in terms of the space, how spacious everything is. But the moment you exit the tech park, again, you enter into the you cannot have a beautiful sunset. You cannot not have a beautiful sunset if you are still part of the city. So for you to experience it, you have to make it better outside. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. What is happening over here? You're seeing different variations of this constantly happening in the concentration. In Bangalore, you have tech parks where people have taken over these small spaces, and they are trying to really develop those spaces. In a place like Surat, you are not concentrating the development. You are improving you're improving the overall city. You are not just concentrating development in one place. So these are also very interesting. And then in some places, because now you also want to take care of the financial ecosystem, you want to take care of the money side of all the things that the country takes care of, then you have to really make your own country, and that is another level for it. So you can see how this all works. It goes from the right people, the right environment, to concentrating it. You're seeing different approaches of how to create an ecosystem, create a successful ecosystem. Some people do it by developing the overall ecosystem. Some people concentrate that on just one tiny area, square footage. So very, very interesting stuff that you see happening over here. Today we had a really interesting conversation. We were really trying to understand what's happening over here with one of the friends who is from a totally different area. Because again, living outside, when you think about India, for me, the only India I know is Surat and Bangalore. A little bit of Bangalore, a lot of Surat. But again, even in Surat, I don't know the entire Surat. I just know the bubble that my family lives in, and that's always going to be the case. You're always going to be, as a kid, your only exposure is the exposure that your family gives to you. That's it. Your world is as big as your family gives you the exposure to. So now what we are seeing is that I'm able to actually go out and explore the world. I'm actually able to go out and really create something new. This is rare. This is not the default. And now it's all about art. What is something new that you can create? And maybe you do something new not because you have to do it. You do it because you are curious, you want to explore. And that is incredibly important. How do you do things? That is incredibly important. How do you do things because not you have to do, because you want to do, because that's art, and because you want to explore, because you want to create something out of nothing? That is incredibly valuable. Let's see what we find over here. Something interesting. Creating prime conversation, identifying the source, looking for relevant chats. Twitter is doing a really good job. I think this entire you kind of want to give yourself a white space, a canvas where you can think, where you can really focus on things that you care about. But then you also want places where you can find other people who think the same way as you and who are approaching world in the same way as you. Maybe that's not important. Maybe all you're focused on, maybe just creating art is what you should be caring about, and everything else, consumption, just feeds your art. Everything that consumes that feeds your art.